We are your entertainment ticket, that's right. YETicket.com. We are your entertainment ticket, that's right. YETicket.com.
Hi, I'm Al McGee with your entertainment ticket at www.yeticket.com. Well, the film I'm going to talk about right now is called Manchester by the Sea. It's a small city there in Massachusetts. Anyway, this is directed by Kenneth Lonergan, and he also wrote the screenplay. In it stars Casey Affleck, Michelle Williams, Kyle Chandler, and Lucas Hedges. Manchester by the Sea. Why should you watch this? Well, let me ask you a question. When you have tragedy in your life, I mean tragedy, real tragedy, deaths, things like that, but you want to continue to live on, how would you live on? What would you feel? What would you do? Well, that's one thing I like about Manchester by the Sea. That's what it's about, living with the tragedies of your life. And this is really about real people with real problems. These are not glossy characters, where you shoot at them 10, 15 times and they don't get shot. Nothing like that. These are not cartoon characters. These are real people, even though this is a screenplay. Well, Lee Chandler, which is played by Casey Affleck, he's a janitor. That's how we see him in the beginning in Boston. He has a small room that he lives in, and he goes and does his work around the buildings that he's, working for. And it shows some of the conflict that he has with some of the neighbors, but also shows some of the beauty of his work, how a couple of neighbors, they fall in love with him. But anyway, you see him, Lee, but he doesn't smile. He doesn't laugh. He doesn't crack jokes, anything like that. And he's alone. But we don't know that much about him until the movie progresses. Now he gets word that his brother Joe died of a heart attack. Well, Lee was expecting this because Joe had a heart disease, and Joe, finally kicked the bucket. But Joe has a 16-year-old son, and his name is Patrick. Now, Patrick is all alone in the world because his mother left him because she was an alcoholic and things like that. So now Lee has to become his guardian, but Lee is a loner with a man with tragedy. And it shows in this film how they try to work this out and work together. But what is really the story, or what is the message, or what is the director's trying to show you in this film? I think he's trying to show you how to continue to live with all the pain that you have in this life. Because remember, this life is really not that easy. And there is a lot of pain in our lives as human beings. For example, as an African American, we have a lot of pain from history and present day. So how do we deal with that? But here it shows how Lee deals with it the best way he can, by being a loner. But one thing I like about Casey Affleck in this film, he showed this pain without expressing it any joy, or by the gestures in his acting, by his, eye gestures, and also his body movement. And what really worked in this for me, from Casey, was the nonverbal communication that he expressed, throughout this whole movie about the character. Now, Lucas Hedges plays Patrick, the teenage kid. His father was alive, he's happy-go-lucky, but he wants his life to continue. Why? Because he got 2 girlfriends, he's in a band, he got a bunch of friends, he's on the ice hockey team. He has a very good life. He doesn't want that to change. Even though his father has died, his mother's gone, he doesn't want to change that because he loves it. He enjoys it. But, man, when he finally breaks down in the film, this kid is really a good actor, and he really shows how a teenager is trying to deal with tragedy in his life as a teenager, and as that person that it happened to him. I will say Kenneth, the director, did an excellent job with this film. Whew. One of the best films I've seen this year. I'm going to give this 3.5 palm trees. That's a little half off perfect of 4. The only reason I'm giving it 3.5 is because the color. And that's just me. You know, it's almost a perfect film. 3.5 palm trees. Manchester by the Sea. This is an excellent film, though. Go watch it for yourself. And see Casey Affleck. This guy has really turned into a great actor. Think about that when you watch this film. I highly recommend you watch this film, Manchester by the Sea. And I'm Al McGee at yeticket.com. How do I, live with the pain in my life? I'm Al McGee. That's all I got to say.